Welcome to the channel, Infinite Exploit, where we learn and have fun. Let's get started and Brody, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and teach you everything that you need to get started in writing in C++. Now, it's closely related to the C programming language. It's like usually like the next level of the C programming language. So we're going to go over this. It's a great programming language to learn. A lot of video games are developed with C++. I'm going to go over the basics, and I'm going to tell you how to get up everything started, write your first program, and then we'll start talking about variables, data, and things like that. We'll learn different kind of programming structures like loops, everything like that. Now, you can get Visual Studio Code. I highly recommend it as the text editor because it has syntax highlighting and auto completion. You also can get code blocks. It already comes built in with a compiler. If you get Visual Studio Code, I recommend getting this GCC compiler so that way you can compile your code. Okay. So any text editor will work, but you want something that's going to be an IDE. It's an integrated development environment. So it gives you awesome help. Lets you know how to debug the code. It highlights in certain color, and I'll show you that here in a moment. So I'll go ahead and open up Visual Studio Code. I already have just a basic template of a simple C++ program. It's just going to print this is infinite exploit. Now, I want you to know if you have G++ installed, you do that's this version. Yes, it shows that it's installed. That is our compiler. That just changes the source code into machine code so the computer can understand. And the machine code is like assembly, okay? So this right here is printing out to the screen, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and save this, and I'll save it as test.cpp. So G++, we're gonna build a program, right? And we're gonna do -o, that's the out file, test.cpp, and it builds the program. So if I do clear and I do ls, you should see an executable on the screen. This is the source code. This is the executable. So let's run it. So it prints it to the screen, okay? Now, and we're gonna name it with the CPP instructions. I mean extension, okay? Because that's C++. All right. So now, when using variables in C++, a lot of times you'll be dealing with data that can be repetitive. So for example, let's just say here the channel is infinite exploit. What if let's say all right. So I'm just printing these lines, right? And I can say okay, so it's going to say hello from Infinite Exploit. There were 0 subscribers. The channel is Infinite Exploit. This is Infinite Exploit, and then there's more than 0 subscribers. Okay, that's all it's going to say. So a variable is like a container used to hold and manage data. So I'm going to show you exactly how we'll do that here. So it's going to just print out these lines of text, these 5 lines of text. Okay. I'm gonna compile it and run it so that way you can see that it's valid. Okay. What if I want to change this name, or right? And what if I want to change this to a different amount? So I can manually change it here, but just imagine if it's hundreds or thousands of lines of code. That can be very tedious task. So that is where variables come to play. Okay, to make that process easier. So that way we can go ahead and change it. So let's go ahead and create a container. I'm gonna do string. So this means like plain text. We're talking about characters right here. So we're gonna do channel name is equal to infinite exploit. So now that we got this string value, this means infinite exploit is stored inside this channel variable here. So I can store numbers like this as an integer, right? So I do, and you always want to end with these semicolons, okay? Right. So if I do this, that means that we're separating it, okay? And and I can go ahead and go to a new line, and I do, let's say 0. We don't have to put numbers in quotation marks, right? Only strings. So if I want to change this, what if I want to change every instance of this for something else and replace this variable with a different a number, right? So how would we do that? So I can get rid of infinite exploit, and I can do this, and I want to do channel name, right? And I can go ahead and compile it. So it's the same thing. So I want to go ahead and so so what if we want to do this one as well, right? Go ahead and all right. So we're almost done updating this. I just got to put a couple things here. So I want to change this here as well. So I'll close it right there. Do this. All right. Now that looks good to me. So it should read the same thing. I'm gonna compile it, and then we can try talking about changing the variables. Where did I? Oh yeah, I forgot that one there. And we can talk about changing the variables. Okay. So it'll change it. It'll change it everywhere in the story, right? So let's see. What if I want to change this to IX, and I want to change this to 100? It's going to change it everywhere in the story. Okay. Let's recompile it, and as you see, it changes it. Okay. So that's an awesome way we can use variables. So what if we wanted to modify halfway through? So I can actually, for example, let's say channel name, and I want to say no name, right? I can do that, and it would change it here. And if I Got to get that syntax correct. All right. Let's see. I'm not sure if it doesn't like the space there. Okay, I see what it was. I didn't change the I didn't change this to the variable. Yeah. All right. Now it should change it. All right. All right. So let's talk about some data types. So a data type is a type of data or type of information that we can use inside our C++ program. So it can be true or false values. It can be numbers, strings. So I'm gonna create a bunch of different variables here, so that way you can see. So I'm gonna show you how this works. So let's talk about a character.